Afternoon. My name is Renee Vasquez with Innis Furniture and the past chair of this vibrant organization. Can't say enough about today's turnout. Just absolutely amazing. 535 of us are here in attendance, and just beautiful to see everyone here. Thank you. Our annual meeting celebrates the accomplishments of the Regional Chamber, our volunteers, and our outstanding members. We're also very excited to hear from our keynote speaker and former Tri-Citian, John Murkowski, with his presentation, Reaching the Summit, Taking Business Leadership to New Heights. As we all know, large-scale events like today's annual meeting are only possible with financial support of many sponsors. I'd like to recognize all of our sponsors and ask that you hold your applause until they've all been called. Our premier sponsor today is Numerica Credit Union. This is their 4th year as the premier sponsor, and we're grateful for and delighted that they've come back again this year. Our diamond sponsor is Cascade Natural Gas Corporation. Gold sponsors are Agri Northwest, Three Rivers Convention Center, Pixelsoft Films, Legend Casinos, Tri-City Herald, and Cadillac Regional Medical Center. Silver sponsors are KNDU TV, Town Square Media, Versatile Design Studios, Tri-City Area Journal of Business, and Fieldstone Memory Care. Our bronze sponsors are Peterson Hastings Investment Management, Brashears Photography, Floral Federal Services, John Clement Photography, X-Pro IAV, Benton PUD, Port of Kennewick, Bettendorf's Printing and Design, Washington Policy Center, Kennewick Flower Shop. I'd also like to recognize our friends from Charter Communications who are so graciously filming today's program for rebroadcast. Thank you to Lloyd and Nick. Thank you. So please join me in thanking all of the annual meeting sponsors. Well, my year as board chair is full of great memories of working with Lori Matson, the staff at the chamber, and volunteers, attending many meetings, of course, and many terrific events that the chamber has put on, and also getting a chance to meet many of you business leaders, and just getting a chance to work side by side, arm holding arm, if you will, in our beautiful community that we live in. I just want to say thank you for allowing me to be the last year's board chair and allowing me to serve this great organization that we have. I'd also like at this time to recognize the board, if you will. So in my position as the board chair last year, I've had the opportunity to work with many talented and successful business leaders throughout the Tri-City community. The Regional Chamber is well served by an active, diverse board of directors, which currently is 37 strong. And we would like to take a few minutes to recognize our board by asking them to stand. Please remain standing, and please hold your applause until everyone's been introduced. Joining me on the executive committee, we have board chair Ron Boninger with Tylight, chair-elect Marty Conger with Battelle, treasurer Kevin Sullivan with Curion Incorporated, Melissa Gerard with Washington River Protection Solutions, Eric Marticelli with Cascade Natural Gas Corporation, Dean Moody with Intermountain West Installation, Derek Stricker with NAI Tri-Cities, Tony Umack with AKU Enterprise, John Ziobro with Telequest Ziobro McMillan. Members of the board of directors are Dave Barr CLU, Annie Bixler with Happel Community Credit Union, Paul Carlisle with Elevate, John Crook with Paragon Corporate Housing, Sean Flaherty with Tri-City Herald, Shay Frigette with Frigette Winery, Nick Gonzalez Boughton Construction. Rick Janssens with Habitat for Humanity. Russ Kiefer, Trios Health. Carlos Martinez with Durashine Clean Company. Mike McCorder, Payne West Insurance. Karen Miller with Benton PUD. Mike Miller with Moon Security Services Incorporated. Vicky Montegudo with Century 21 Tri-Cities. Ian Napier with Red Lion Hotels. Dr. Lee Osler, Center for Dental Health. Scott Oxenford, Bechtel National Incorporated. Scott Parnell with Washington Closure Hanford. Gary Ransom with Agra Northwest. Bill Robertson Nissan. Cheryl Salinomi with Town Square Media. Kershed Sharivov with Century Securities Associates Incorporated. Bill Shibley, Northwest Farm Credit Services. Steve Simmons with Country Gentleman Restaurant and Catering. Brett Spooner, Gravis Group LLC. Ted Voss, MetLife Premier Client Group. Ray Wild, Mission Support Alliance. As you can see, there's a lot of names with a great board behind us all. Please join me in a round of applause thanking these individuals for their time, talent, and leadership. Thank you. At the end of 2014, we had a number of outgoing board members. I'd like to invite them to join me on stage so that we can present them with a token of our appreciation. And they are Sherry Armijo with Abadan, Dallas Green with Remax Professionals Tri-Cities, Don Carger, Henry's Restaurant and Catering, Tom Mackey with Agra Northwest, Roland Thompson, ALP Financial Planning Incorporated, Randy Way with Sylvan Learning Center. Please, let's give them all a big round of applause and thank them for all they've done and continue to do for our chamber. I'm going to take a quick photo here. So the chamber also has a number of what we call ex officio members representing partner organizations who are actively engaged with the chamber's board of directors. We'd also like to recognize these individuals by asking them to stand and thank them for their participation. Starting off with Dave Fetto, he's the Ambassador Club Chair. Commissioner Jim Beaver with Benton County. Mayor Pro Tem Don Britton, City of Kennewick. Stan Strebel with the City of Pasco. Councilman Brad Anderson, City of Richland. Byron Martin, City of West Richland. Commissioner Rick Miller, Franklin County. Robin Chastain, Kennewick School District. Commissioner Bob Larson, Port of Benton. Commissioner Don Barnes, Port of Kennewick. Randy Hayden with the Port of Pasco. Dr. Rick Schulte with the Richland School District. Ken Fincher, Washington State University Tri-Cities. And Jason Mercer, Washington Policy Center. Please join me in a round of applause for them. And thank you. In addition to our excellent board of directors, the Chamber is fortunate to have a wonderful ambassador club. The ambassadors are a group of 60 volunteers who help the Chamber by attending ribbon-cutting ceremonies, serving as greeters at the Chamber's many events, and providing leads for the potential new members, assembling the monthly newsletter, and an array of other activities. Many of our ambassadors are here today, and I would like to ask them to please stand so we can recognize and thank them. Please stand if you're here. Look around the room. Thank you for all you've done. Thank you. So one of our awards is Ambassador of the Year. So I'd like to invite gold level sponsor Emily Volland, event coordinator, Cadillac Regional Medical Center, to come on up and present that award.
Thank you, Renee. Catholic Regional Medical Center has enjoyed our involvement with the Tri-City Regional Chamber of Commerce for many years and is happy to be a gold level sponsor at today's annual meeting and present the Ambassador of the Year award. Each quarter, the members of the Ambassador Club earn points by attending and volunteering at regional chamber functions. At the end of the year, ambassadors who earn a minimum of 100 points are awarded bronze, silver, or gold emblems for their name tags. To give you an idea of the level of participation, the 2014 Ambassador of the Year accumulated 937 points this year. We estimate that in total, our Ambassador of the Year attended more than 188 regional chamber functions in 2014. Please welcome to the stage our 2014 Ambassador of the Year, Sherry Strong. Thank you again to Sherry and to our entire Ambassador Club. The Board of Directors and Chamber staff appreciate your time and your efforts. Thank you. Our next award is the Chamber Star Award. STAR is an acronym for Service, Time, Attitude, Reliability. And today this award goes to a board member that truly exemplifies all of these things. This board member has worked diligently on the Chamber's Board of Directors since 2002. She served on the Executive Committee since 2013. This board member is a true advocate of the Chamber and is always willing to jump in whenever and whenever needed. This board member plays an essential role in the Chamber's Small Business Incentive Program and has been instrumental in developing the application process and selecting recipients of awards throughout the year. The 2014 Chamber Star Award goes to Melissa Gerard. Thank you. Melissa, we are grateful that you lend your service, time, attitude, and reliability to the Chamber.
She didn't see that coming. Congratulations. I'd like to thank Emily with Cadillac Regional Medical Center for the gold sponsorship and today's annual meeting. Thank you for giving that presentation. And again, thanks to Melissa. At this time, I'd like to turn the program over to Lori Matson, the Chamber's CEO. And before I leave, I just want to say one special thank you to my lovely wife, Peggy Vasquez, for supporting me last year. Thank you, Peggy.
Good afternoon, everyone. And Renee, before you step away, we have one final board member to recognize, and that's you, our 2014 board chair. The Tri-City Regional Chamber has been so fortunate to attract a great board members, and these also come on to be great board chairs, and Renee is no exception to that. Renee has served on our board for 10 years and on our executive committee for the last 4. And anyone who knows Renee knows that he is truly one of the nicest and most genuine people you could ever know. Not only have I enjoyed working with you, but I consider you a friend. So on behalf of the Chamber's Board of Directors, staff, please accept, we've got a framed picture here, a token of the Chamber's appreciation for all your steadfast leadership, dedication to the mission of the Chamber, and we thank you so much. And let's give Renee another really big round of applause. In keeping with the new Tri-Cities brand, 2014 was a bold and bright year for the Tri-City Regional Chamber, and I'm truly honored to stand here as the president and CEO of this vibrant organization. With just under 1,200 memories, we have a lot more memories than 1,200 members, the Tri-City Regional Chamber is the 5th largest chamber in the state of Washington, and you, our members, are the driving force behind everything we do. Delivering exceptional value for your investment is our priority. Our strategic focus areas keep us emphasized on small business programs, advocacy efforts, membership growth and retention, economic and community development, and overall organizational strength. Through the hard work and dedication of 38 board members, over 250 volunteers, and a professional staff of 11, we accomplished a great deal in 2014. And I'd like to take a few minutes just to highlight some of those accomplishments. With funding from Washington River Protection Solutions for the 4th consecutive year, we awarded $30,000 in essential resources to 45 small business members. 148 businesses from across the region became new members. We averaged 342 attendees at our monthly luncheons, which featured programs about STEM education, state of the cities, state of the ports, state of higher education, and the annual congressional update. Our PTAC counselor led 26 government contracting classes, 350 client counseling sessions, helping small businesses understand the process of government contracting. And her efforts resulted in just under $18 million in contract awards to small businesses in 6 eastern Washington counties. For a 3rd year, our Good Health is Good Business program made great impact on our community. And over the last 3 years, the program, which focuses on corporate and individual health and wellness, we've attracted over 1,100 participants and 300 businesses. We held 72 ribbon cuttings and groundbreaking ceremonies for new and relocating businesses. We hosted 750 car owners and thousands of spectators at the 21st annual Cool Desert Nights car show. We filled Columbia Park with over 10,000 spectators during the River of Fire Festival, which featured the largest fireworks display in the history of the event. 340 business owners and managers learned key strategies for running their businesses at our monthly Business Development University classes. Our Government Affairs Department had a strong presence in Olympia, advocating for issues important to your business. We hosted the 4th Congressional District Candidate Forum, which offered our members and local business leaders the opportunity to hear directly from the candidates about important issues in our community. In partnership with our partners, Visit Tri-Cities, TriDec, and other community stakeholders, we launched the Tri-Cities brand. And our final highlight of 2014 was the announcement of the Economic Gardening Pilot Program, the first in the Pacific Northwest. So these are just some of the highlights, which made for a very exciting and successful year at the Tri-City Regional Chamber. And of course, none of this could be accomplished without a dedicated staff. Our team comes to work every day with innovative ideas and energy to accomplish our goals. And I'd like to introduce them and bring them on stage so they can also be recognized for the exceptional work they do. And they're all lining up over here. So we have Ashley Coronado, our PTAC business counselor, Lisa Nelson, our event director, Elizabeth Holt is our marketing and membership director, Austin Nielsen is our government and economic affairs director, Kylie Elgin is our member services and programs manager, Melinda Hoffman is our accounting manager, Shannon Burgess, our administrative coordinator, Brandon Eckert, our communications coordinator, Jillian Marquez, event coordinator, and Anna Jansen, also event coordinator. So this team works incredibly hard for you, our members, and please help me thank them for everything they do. Thank you, Ivy. Nice looking group. Thanks so much. Thanks so much. Oh, and we have Anna's in the background. Anna, give us a wave. Anna has to run the PowerPoint, so she doesn't get to join us up here, but she's in the back working hard, of course, as usual. So at this time, we'd like to recognize some very important members by presenting our Impact Awards. These awards recognize members that have impacted the Chamber through their support and financial contributions. And today we have 2 Impact Awards to present, one to a community partner organization and another to a corporate member. To help me present our Impact Awards, I'd like to invite our Diamond Level sponsor, Monica Kolashov, Manager of Energy Efficiency and Community Outreach with Cascade Natural Gas. Monica, good to see you again. Thank you.
Thank you, Lori. Cascade Natural Gas is happy to be a Diamond Level sponsor of today's annual meeting. And I'm pleased to help recognize a valuable community organization. As Lori mentioned, the Chamber is recognizing a community partner organization whose involvement in the Chamber has been of great value. This year's recipient of the Impact Award takes advantage of nearly every opportunity the Chamber offers for networking and demonstrates the value it places on the Chamber through their continued involvement. This year, the Chamber would like to recognize the 2014 Community Partner Organization Impact Award recipient, Tri-Cities Cancer Center. Help me welcome their CEO, Chuck DeGoyer. Please join us on stage so we can recognize you.
Let's give another round of applause. And we've got a whole team from the Tri-Cities Cancer Center here. Thank you and appreciate all that you do to support the Chamber. The Tri-City Regional Chamber is very fortunate to have many members who invest a great deal of resources in the Chamber. And many of those companies not only join the Chamber at an upper level tier, but they invest additional funds in the Chamber, making a substantial impact on our ability to grow our programs, services, and resources, providing even more value to our members. So before we award our Corporate Impact Award winner to the member who provided the greatest amount of financial support during 2014, we want to recognize the 9 other companies that round out our top 10. So we'd like, if you could please, when I call your company's name, if everybody from that organization would please stand and remain standing. We really want to recognize these great companies. Coming in at number 10, we have Community First Bank. Number 9, we have Cadlick Regional Medical Center. Number 8, please stand, all of our representatives. Number 8, Giza Credit Union. Number 7, Legends Casino. Number 6, Cascade Natural Gas Corporation. Number 5 is the City of Kennewick. Number 4 is the Pacific Northwest National Laboratory. And I'd like to just take a minute as they're standing here to quickly recognize 2 very important people from the lab who have joined us today. Retiring at the end of this month is Lab Director Mike Cluse, and also joining us today is the newly announced Lab Director Steve Ashby. And I'd like to especially thank Mike for all your support to the Chamber over the years and tell you what a great pleasure it has been to work with you. And I'd like to welcome Steve and let you know that we look forward to working with you as well. So let's everybody give Mike Cluse a great round of applause. Thank you, Mike. Number 3, getting back to our plan here. Number 3 is the City of Richland, and number 2 is Washington River Protection Solutions. So please help me thank these members who are our top investors in 2014. Thank you so much. So now Monica with Cascade Natural Gas will again help me present the award to the Impact Award for our top financial contributor. Monica?
Thank you, Lori. The recipient of this award is an executive-level member of the Chamber. During 2014, this company invested a great deal in the Chamber to support 2 of the Tri-Cities' largest community events, Cool Desert Nights and the River of Fire Festival. These events are long-standing traditions in the Tri-Cities community. 2014 was the 22nd year for Cool Desert Nights and 28th year for the River of Fire Festival. These events have brought thousands of visitors to the Tri-Cities over the years, therefore bringing thousands and thousands of dollars to other businesses in the community. Both provide family-friendly activities and allow us to showcase our incredible summer weather and quality of life. And as you know, both are sponsored by the official sponsor of summer and our 2014 Corporate Impact Award winner, Hapo Community Credit Union. If we could please have Annie Bixler, Communications and Media Developer from Hapo Community Credit Union, join me on stage.
All right, thank you again to Cascade Natural Gas for sponsoring our Impact Awards, and thank you to Hapo and all of our members. I don't know if Dave Schultz and Steve Anderson, President and CEO and Vice President of Hapo, are here today, but if they are, doesn't look like they're here, but if they are, we'd like them to stand as well. And again, thank you so much for your partnership. So now I get the pleasure of turning the program over to our 2015 Board Chair, Ron Boninger.
Thank you. I'm honored and humbled to be the chair of this great organization. And today I have the pleasure to present the Business on a Roll Awards. That is fitting because the Tri-Cities are on a roll. We are rolling to being brighter, better, and bolder. I'll come back to how we are rolling, maybe a little bit of rock in the rolling. So hold on to that thought. So first, I want to thank Renee for your leadership, service. You did it with style, grace, and humor. I learned from you, and you made me smile. Thank you. And thank you to everyone that makes our chamber what it is, our board, our ex officios, and the fantastic high-energy staff that Lori so effectively leads. Can you believe the list of activities Lori reviewed that her staff has accomplished during 2014? And I know that Lori only wants to do more. As a famous Chicago person said, Daniel Burnham, Lori does not make small plans. Thank you. I arrived in the Tri-Cities just 3 years ago and was immediately welcomed and energized by the people I met. What a great place to move to. What an exciting time to be here. So back to where I started. Why are we on a roll? Here's why. Housing and property values are strong and rising. Soon we will have a new wine science center as we continue our wine industry leadership. Hanford will now become a Manhattan Project National Historical Park. The Reach, which tells our amazing history, is now complete and resting at a beautiful spot along the Columbia. Pacific Northwest National Labs is investing in new buildings. Vista Field is being redeveloped. Our airport is expanding. Washington State University and Columbia Basin College are expanding their programs and being leaders. WSU, with its new hospitality degree, and CBC was ranked as one of the top community colleges in our country by the Aspen Group. Columbia Gardens and other efforts are happening to redevelop land along the great Columbia River. And great things may happen on George Washington Way if Adam Brault and his Chicago development partners can bring to life their idea for a 25,000 square foot Tri-Cities public marketplace. All of these great accomplishments enable all of us to work together to drive the new branding initiative that has the potential to transform our region even further. The success of all these present and future projects are due to the efforts of all of us and many, many others. It is amazing what we can do when we work together. So, if you've been on the fence about whether or not to expand your company, make that key hire. Roll out that new marketing plan, invest in developing a new product, or become an entrepreneur and do a startup, I think now is a great time. Our business economics are strong, and we can make them better. And of course, what a great time to become a chamber member, to support our laser-focused mission to make the Tri-Cities a great place to do business. So again, thank you for being here and for making the Tri-Cities a great place. So now we have 3 final awards to present today, the Chamber's Business on a Roll Awards, appropriately named. The Business on a Roll Awards recognize member businesses that achieved significant success during 2014. Businesses who are nominated for these awards are divided into 3 categories based on size. Category 1, 1 to 10 employees. Category 2, 11 to 50 employees. And Category 3, over 50 employees. Our Awards and Recognition Committee carefully considered each nomination. Nominees were evaluated for major revenue growth, adding jobs and hiring new employees, receiving national or industry awards, and of course, community involvement. The Chamber received many nominations from well-deserving member businesses, and to give you an idea of the diversity of the qualifications of our nominees, I'll share some of their statistics. Several members reported 10 and 20% growth in revenue during 2014. Many of the members reported at least 30% growth in employees in 2014. This year, we're excited to work with PixelSoft Films, who was a gold level sponsor of today's event and produced videos featuring each of our Business on a Roll award winners. I think that's pretty cool. So, to help present the 3 2014 Business on a Roll awards, please welcome Corey Pearson, Executive Director, Three Rivers Convention Center.
Thank you, Ron. Thank you, all of you, and it's my pleasure to be here today on behalf of the Three Rivers Convention Center and to present these very deserving awards to 3 very deserving companies. The first Business on a Roll award goes to Category 1 for a member business employing 1 to 10 people. This business saw an overall revenue growth of more than 12%. They added 3 new staff members and 330 new clients. Last year, they also received the Liberty Mutual President's Award in 2013 and in 2014. This company also made $18,000 worth of donations to organizations including the Three Rivers Community Foundation, the REACH, Ignite, Pasco Youth Football, Washington Potato Growers Foundation, and several more. So if you would, please draw your attention to the screens.
My wife and I moved here 36 years ago, and I promised her we'd only be here 2 or 3 years, and then we'd go someplace else. You know how that works. We're really happy with the Tri-Cities. We raised both of our sons here. Both of our sons work with us here in the business. Tri-Cities is just a great place to live. It's got really good people, and good people who like to give back. And the economy is great, and and the cultural diversity is great too. We've grown because of our people. We've had really good people. We've got 10 employees here now, and of the 10, 6 of those have worked either for a large regional or an international broker. So we like to say we can offer the expertise of a national broker with the service and care of a local agent, and I think it's that service and care that's allowed us to grow. We also have people that have a lot of experience with larger brokers and even national brokers, and so we can handle clients of multitude of sizes, and we do. So we've been able to grow really fast because of that. I think we're most proud of this because, again, we operate as a team, and it's not just me, it's everybody here in the office, and we get along really well together. We're all very professional, but we also have a lot of fun together, and so if you can't take a joke in the office, you're not going to last here very long, because everybody, including myself, gets something pulled on them sooner or later. We see a lot of opportunity, a lot of growth. We want to maintain the culture that we have now, a culture of service, family values. So whatever we do, we want to maintain that. One thing we are hoping to be able to do this year, sharing some of the ownership and some of the profits also with our other associates, which we're excited about doing.
Congratulations for Basin Pacific. Now to accept their award, please welcome the owner, Brad Toner, and 2 of his staff members, Justin Toner and Glenda Simonson. I made sure I was on the outside so they could cut me out of the picture. So hang it at your office. All right, the second Business on a Roll award winner is for Category 2, which goes to a member business that employs 11 to 50 people. This business experienced 11% growth in their revenue in just 2014, a 15% increase in their clients, and this member added 5 staff members to their team. And in 2014, they opened the Anthology event venue and launched 13 Bones Urban Barbecue, a catering company dedicated to barbecue. Please draw your attention to the screen for our winner.
This is my dream job. I can't imagine where we started 19 years ago. This was totally a dream, and to be able to be here now is just amazing. So yes, it's exciting to work every day, because it is. We get to work with awesome people, and we're passionate about food.
I started at a really young age. I was probably 13 or 14 and would just love to play in the kitchen.
And anytime you get to serve food to people and create their vision of their event, it's wonderful. So it really doesn't get much better.
And really, that's how I got my start, is just playing in the kitchen, watching colors and things that my mom put together, and just kind of emulating that.
Tri-Cities is home, a very unique place because of the agriculture, the wine industry. I mean, there's so many things that happen and that are produced here.
The kitchen can get extremely busy. We get on top of each other. When we start to hit peak season, we bring on some temporary help. Basically, we have about 25 people that we have on hand, full and part-time, and then during the summer we'll grow to 50. Our biggest day that we've ever had is 29 events in one day, and that ranged anywhere from a 10-person luncheon to a 700 or 800 person dinner. And it takes a lot of coordination, a lot of effort, but it's a great challenge to be able to do that and execute it pretty well. The number of events we do, it varies week by week, day by day. That's one of the things that I really like about this business, is that it changes day to day.
Congratulations to Castle Event Catering. Please welcome Kathy and Andy Craig to accept this award and with their team. The final Business on a Roll award goes for Category 3 to a member business that employs more than 50 people. This year's award winner experienced overall income growth of 22% and an 8% increase in new clients. They received the Tri-City Herald's People's Choice Award, the Credit Union National Association Brand Awareness Award, and several more. In 2014, they participated and donated money to the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge, hosted the inaugural Christmas at the Carousel event, and made a $10,000 donation to Habitat for Humanity for the annual Harvest for Hope fundraising event. This member is highly involved in the community and continues to open new branches throughout Eastern Washington. Please draw your attention to the screen for our winner.
This year we will cross having 400 employees from Walla Walla all the way up to Wenatchee, because we're really focused on serving our members and serving our communities. GISA is a great place to work. In the past year, we've experienced some significant success and growth. We have opened a branch in the Yakima area for the first time, so we're now able to serve the several thousand members that we already had living there. We've grown our branch networks here in the Tri-Cities. We've added a full-service branch in West Pasco. We opened a new branch in Queensgate. We've experienced tremendous growth. One of the things that makes a credit union different is that we are operated by our members and that we have a strong sense of purpose and community-driven energy. We believe that to serve our members, we should also help improve the community where our members live. And so that's why we continue to be so active. We have volunteers that participate in junior achievement in Walla Walla and Tri-Cities. We've supported Habitat for Humanity. We love to participate with the Red Cross. With the Turkey Trot was a great event this last year. We were really proud of the work that we did with the community to help support the Safe Harbor Crisis Nursery and My Friend's Place Teen Shelter when they were experiencing financial difficulties. The GISA Stadium, the GISA Carousel of Dreams. We really look also for ways to invest in community programs that provide entertainment for families. We think both of those are really great opportunities. It's great to work for an organization that puts the member first. The Tri-Cities has been the home of GISA Credit Union for over 63 years now. We started here in a shoebox in 1953. Just as this community has grown and continued to be a vibrant part of Washington State, so has our credit union. We believe that the successes of the two are linked to each other.
Congratulations to GISA Credit Union. Now on behalf of GISA to accept their award, please welcome President and CEO Don Miller.
So congratulations, Basin Pacific, Castle Event Catering, and GISA Credit Union. I love business. I have a passion for it, and to see these companies growing, doing creative things, and being part of the Tri-Cities is just fantastic. So we wish you and the other nominees continued success for 2015. Take it to the next level. Go for it. And thank you, Corey Pearson and the Three Rivers Convention Center, for your gold level sponsorship. And thank you, Pixelsoft Films, for their fantastic videos. That was a great part of the program. For the fourth year in a row, our annual meeting premier sponsor is Numerica Credit Union. It's now my pleasure to introduce Jennifer O'Callahan, Vice President of Marketing from Numerica Credit Union, to deliver the premier sponsor message and introduce our esteemed keynote speaker.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon. My name is Jennifer O'Callahan. Thank you for the kind intro, Ron. This is Numerica's fourth year as presenting sponsor of the annual meeting. We're very delighted to be here today. Thank you to Lori Matson and your entire staff at the Chamber and the Board of Directors for all of the efforts that you put in to foster business development and economic growth in this community. I think that we have seen enormous growth based off of that. And this past year has been truly remarkable for Numerica. We opened our doors on our beautiful brand new Richland location last summer. We hosted a wonderful grand opening party in partnership with the Regional Chamber, because we know how to throw a party, and the Regional Chamber, as evidenced here, knows how to organize an event. And since opening our doors in the Tri-Cities over 10 years ago, Numerica has been very lucky to experience rapid growth here. You know, I think it's down to the individuals that make up the organization. We've got great business services managers, Chris and Walter here today. Adrian and Kelly and Joy from Home Loan Officers are here. Our branch managers, Leo and Sylvia, our business development managers, Manny and Janet. They make up a tight team of individuals that have been very successful in growing our membership, and we're very proud of that. This year we surpassed our 105,000 member mark. And we're extremely proud of that. We're also extremely proud that the growth in our business, when Numerica grows its business, our communities benefit. So last year, we donated $835,000 to local communities and charities across, charities, causes, and organizations across our communities. And these do include organizations here like Tri-Cities Cancer Center and Safe Harbor and My Friend's Place, and Second Harvest. And that's where I'm going to depart from the obligatory sponsor message where I tell you how awesome our organization is, because it is in fact awesome. But I'm also going to ask you to accept a challenge from us today. On your tables, you'll see a flyer that Second Harvest has placed there. I'm very excited to help launch this new initiative with them today to feed hungry families, children, and seniors in our communities. The Food Frenzy Challenge is an online fundraising competition between local businesses where we all compete to see who can raise the most money to fight hunger. The best part is it doesn't matter the size of your organization or business, whether you have 3 employees or 1,000 employees, because points are tallied based off of dollars raised per employee as opposed to total contribution. You know, 1 in 7 people are hungry in our areas, and 1 in 4 are children. And as a mother of 4 children, that statistic impacts me quite significantly. So I would like to extend the challenge from Numerica for all of the businesses and organizations represented here to help Second Harvest to step up and compete in this challenge and to make a difference in our community. I really believe the combined might of business organizations that are present here today can have a demonstrable impact on our community. But I have to tell you, taking on the Numerica team will not be easy. because we have some truly amazing individuals who last year contributed 13,000 volunteer hours to charitable organizations across our communities. That commitment to our members and to our communities is something that I'm sincerely proud to be a part of. So we have another exciting year ahead of us. We will continue to partner with a lot of organizations here in Tri-Cities. And if you haven't had the chance, I would really encourage you to stop by one of our branches in Richland or Kennewick or Pasco and see the incredible contributions from the people that work there to help our members and our communities live well. Thank you all for being here today. Thank you again to the Regional Chamber. And today I get to do a brief introduction to our keynote speaker, John Murkowski. John's career began as a professional mountain guide. He has over 10 years of professional guiding experience, and during that time has summited Mount Rainier 150 times. And he has more than 50 international expeditions to destinations such as Africa, Asia, and Russia. In 2001, John started Pensar Development and currently employs 44 engineers and designers in Seattle. Pensar is a full product development firm developing a wide range of products inside the medical and consumer markets. Their client list includes Philips Medical, GE, Microsoft, Boeing, Panasonic, Starbucks, and IBM. Among the many accolades that Pensar has, they have been named one of Puget Sound Business Journal's fastest growing private companies in Washington 4 times. They received more than 12 design awards. They have over 150 patents, and their designs are showcased in the Smithsonian Design Museum in New York. John was raised right here in Richland and graduated from Hanford High School, later moving to Seattle and graduating from the Mechanical Engineering program at the University of Washington. He has been married for 14 years and has a dog, Bella. His dog, Bella, came to work with him for 12 years, but I understand she has recently retired, and who can blame her? So with his presentation, Reaching the Summit, Taking Business Leadership to New Heights, it is my pleasure to welcome John Murkowski, 2014 Tri-City Regional Alumnus of Distinction Award winner.
That was a nice introduction. Thank you very much. Once again, my name's John Murkowski. I grew up in North Richland on St. Street, and I graduated from Hanford High School in 1991. I went on to the University of Washington, and she got it mostly correct. I do have a degree in mechanical engineering there, but I dropped out in 1995, and I don't believe I actually got my degree until somewhere in the late 90s from there. In 2001, I started Pensar Development. I started out of the closet in the apartment that I shared with my then girlfriend and now wife. Pensar Development is a product development firm that every time I say that to people, they always ask me what that means. So most people think that the products they use and they buy are designed by the companies that sell them. And that's certainly the case in some products. But the vast majority of them are designed by other companies that are contracted in. So we work with a wide range of companies to design lots of different products for them. And our end goal here is that we can develop products faster and to a higher quality level than either our competitors or our clients. And that's our goal. Along the way, we started as a pure medical device company, working for Philips, Sonosite, GE, Physio-Control, Medtronic, a lot of big players in the medical device. About 5 years into it, we started doing more work in the consumer electronics, and now it's pretty well split in there. To give you a little feel about some of the products that we've worked on, this is an ultrasound cart for Philips. We did 100% of the mechanical engineering on it. It's a general imaging ultrasound cart. It's a typical type of project for us. We've done a lot of defibrillators for different companies. This is one for Physio-Control, another great project for us. There's a small software startup over in Redmond, Washington, if you guys have heard of them. They do a lot of hardware. If you use a Surface, that's coming out of Pensar. If your kids play on a Kinect or with an Xbox, that's coming out of Pensar as well. So we've had a lot of opportunities to work with some great clients. As she said, we were founded in 2001. We currently have about 45 engineers and designers. We've averaged 53% year-over-year growth for 15 years, which has been a lot of fun. And 4 times, as she said, we've been named to the fastest growing private company list in the state of Washington. But before Pensar, this is me about 20 years ago on Mount Rainier, I worked as a professional mountain guide. And I loved this job. I traveled the world and got to lead people up some of the most beautiful mountains you could ever imagine. Along the way, a lot of my friends that I knew there do these type of speeches, and they do corporate training. They go out and do leadership seminars for executives at Dell or at Facebook. And they talk about some of the more common things that people think about in mountaineering. They talk about teamwork, leading by example, building trust, inspiring your teams. I'm not going to talk about any of that with you guys today. For anybody, has anybody climbed Mount Rainier? Right on. I love seeing that. We have 2. Has anybody climbed it more than once? All right, you're all smarter than me. For those of you who haven't climbed a mountain like that, I want to explain it to you a little bit. Mountaineering is a lot like hitting yourself over the head with a hammer. It really only feels good when you stop. It's great 2 months later when you can look at the picture and you've forgotten all the pain and all the hard work. But at the moment, it's not the most fun thing you're doing. So as a mountain guide, there are unwritten rules. Nobody tells you about them. They're not printed up. They're not discussed in the guide meetings. But they're always there. And if you violate any of the unwritten rules in mountaineering and as a mountain guide, don't show up the next day. Your job, your career is done. So I pulled out 5 of those that I wanted to talk to you guys about. And they're a little bit elementary, but I think if you bear with me for a little bit, you'll follow along with my train of thought. The first one in the mountains. As a guide, you cannot get lost. Seems like a no-brainer, but it's sometimes not that easy. The mountain can be a really white, confusing place. You cannot get cold. You cannot get tired. You're not allowed to fall. And you cannot get scared. And that last one's a little bit complicated because we all get scared. But you're not allowed to let that scare come out to drive your teams or to impact their safety. So before I started Pensar, and I realized that my time guiding was coming to an end, that I was no longer excited about living in a Volkswagen bus, eating top ramen, having a P.O. box, and traveling the world to the same places again and again and again. I wanted to take all the things that I loved about that job and try as an engineer to boil them down to a theoretical element and then see if I could go apply those to a next endeavor. So I spent time thinking about all of these unwritten rules, and I want to explain to you guys what I came up with and how I've used them for the last 15 years in running my own company. So you're not allowed to get lost. I said that was rule number 1. This is on Mount Rainier. Behind those 3 people is a rock called Split Rock. It's got a crack right through the middle. It's at 7,243 feet on the Muir snowfield. Even to this day, you could put me on the top of Mount Rainier in a complete whiteout, give me a compass and altimeter, and I'll put you within 20 feet of that rock, 8,000 feet below us. It was one of our biggest landmarks, and we had lots of tips and tricks on how to find that when you needed to. So as a mountain guide, we know the terrain better than anybody else. We have to. 1, it's our background, it's our office, it's where we work. But we need to know it better than anybody else. As CEO of my own company, I need to know my business and my market better than anybody else. As soon as somebody else comes in and they start to know it better than I do and they start to understand it better than I do, they're going to be a very formidable competitor and they're going to displace us on where we are in the business. Up on the mountain, you get to be the known expert, and it's a little bit easier there. You're in a uniform, You've got a badge that says, hey, I'm a senior mountain guide. So people know what you are. It's very easy to be the known expert. In the business world, for us, it's a little bit more difficult. We don't get to walk around in a uniform and meet people. So we have to do it through newsletters, through publishing, through engineering white papers, through all kinds of efforts to show off what we know and be recognized inside of our industry as the experts in our field. I would love to say that all the mountains I guided, I had already climbed, but that's not the way the world works. Most of the international expeditions that I led were on mountains I had never been on before, at least for the first time. So you have to possess the skills and the tools to still avoid getting lost, even though you've never been there before. It's not much different in the business world to me. The market's constantly changing, technology's constantly changing, the climate is changing, and I need to possess the skills and the knowledge to continue to adapt and continue to be an expert in our field. If I do all of that, you get this nice, gorgeous day. It's clear as all you can see Yakima, Portland, you can see all across the state, and it's easy. You won't get lost. So I told you rule number 2, you're not allowed to get cold. In the mountains, you have to know your gear. You have one backpack, it's everything you got. There's no ski lodge to go in and get a hot cocoa. You can't go start your car and turn on the heater. You have X amount of gear, and that's all you're going to get to stay warm. In the business, I have to know my company's resources, processes, and capabilities, as well as I used to know what was in my backpack. I have to understand what they're capable of, what we're capable of, and how best to use them. In the mountains, as a guide, you can never be lazy when it comes to your temperature. There's no place, like I said, to go warm up. So you have to be very active in maintaining it and ensuring that you're never going to get cold or wet. It's no different in the business world. The moment I get lazy, the moment our processes get old, the moment our capabilities no longer meet the market, we will get surpassed. In the mountains, you're very proactive. You can climb all day. As soon as you get into camp, first thing you'll see a mountain guide do is start changing his wet socks, his wet shirt, getting them all off. You're very proactive in maintaining that temperature. For me in the business world, it's the same thing. I want to be very proactive in trying to maximize the gear that I have, the processes, the people, the capabilities. In the mountains, your number 1 goal is client safety. Number 2 is getting to the top. And number 3, if you got time and you already made the summit, is to have a little bit of fun. So that client safety, any moment I spend trying to get my own body temperature under control or warm up, is a moment I'm not spending ensuring my client's safety. Same thing here over for me at work. It's that proactive, constantly looking for ways to improve it, constantly looking for new pieces of gear to add to my backpack. If you do all of that, I wouldn't say I'm warm here. This is overnight on the top of Mount McKinley up in Alaska. It's somewhere close to 80 degrees below freezing. It's functional, but I have no more gear in my backpack. I'm done. This is everything I brought. It's all of my gear. So this would be the last time I stopped for about 6 more hours. Rule number 3, you're not allowed to get tired. This would probably be the first rule I would violate if I went out guiding today. The 42-year-old version of me has no desire to carry the 22-year-old pack. I had that backpack custom made for me when I was 21 years old. It's 11 pounds empty. It comes up to my shoulder. I can stand in it. In this particular picture, it's somewhere north of 100 pounds. And that was a normal, everyday type of activity. So as a mountain guide, you carry the biggest loads. You're up first, and you work the hardest. No exceptions, period. Get outworked by a client, have a client carry a heavier load, you're going to be done. As CEO, The people who know me know that I love the work hard, play hard mentality. I love to go race sailboats and go disappear biking for weeks. But when I'm at work, I'm 100% there. And my goal is to set the value per hour mark for my whole company. As a mountain guide, the actual climbing part has to be the easiest part of your job. The going uphill, the crampons, the ice axes, the ropes, all of that has to be the easiest part of it for you. The moment you're focused in on the climbing and how technical it is and whether or not you're going to do well in it, you're no longer watching your clients. You're no longer looking at goal number one, which is their safety. In my company, it's the same thing. The day-to-day business activities of Pensar have to be the easiest part of it for me. We outsource almost everything possible at Pensar. Of the 45 people, we have one person who's overhead, and it's not me. So it's anything we can do to make running the business easier allows us to focus more time on our customers. Rule number 4 that I told you about is you cannot fall. I know half a dozen ex-mountain guides, and they all fell. They all got pulled off of their feet by a client, and your career is done. It's over. So in the 12 plus years I guided, I never fell. It's just not allowed. Helps that I'm a bigger person, but the size doesn't matter. One of our strongest female guides, Kate Casson, was about 110 pounds, soaking wet. And we called her a bucket of nails because you could not get her off her feet. So in the mountains, it's just not allowed. Your safety of your clients has to be the number one priority there. To me, it's the same thing. My customer, whatever business I have, whether I sell a product or in our case, we sell services, but we all have customers. They all have needs, and our business is there to meet their needs. So they have to be our number one priority. In the mountains, you have to be the rock. Your clients tie into you on a rope, and they have to feel like they're tying into the Empire State Building, that nothing they do will ever move you. For me, at Pensar and in business, I need to be the most consistent element of the company. I need to be there and have the exact same message 2 years ago that I have today. Every single person who walks into my company and starts to work there, I tell them, goal number 1 is our client success, above the company's success, above our individual successes. And if we can achieve our company's success, or our client's success, if we can achieve our client's success, then our individual and our collective successes will follow. And then anytime they have to make a decision and they're not sure what to do, use only that factor to make it. What's best for our customer? What's best for our client? So in 15 years, that's worked fairly well for us. It's definitely not easy at times, but in 15 years, every single client who's ever worked with us still does. And we're the only firm on the whole West Coast to have never had a layoff during those years. And I attribute that the focus is in on the customer. About 80% of our business is repeat folks, whether they're at the same company or they're at a new company. They know that when they hire Pensar, our focus is on their success, not on ours. In the mountains, some things are really easy because everybody's tied to you. One of my favorite tricks was there's certainly some people who can be a little bit annoying. They like to talk, or they like to do something and it's just annoying, or you're just having a bad day. But they're all tied to you. So you go just a little bit faster, a little bit faster, a little bit faster. At some point, they get out of breath and the annoyance goes away. They're still with you. You're still all climbing, but they're no longer there. So in the mountains, everybody's tied to you. You are the final responsibility. You're the one getting paid to maintain their safety. At work, I think about it a little bit differently, that the leadership and the culture of Pensar starts with me. And if I empower folks on my team, we're all tied together. We're all working at the same company. We all have the same motivations. And if I empower them, not going a little bit faster, they're going to add to that culture and that leadership. I like showing this picture. This is of a Tyrolean traverse. This is the most useless technique in mountaineering. I have never in my whole career had to use it to climb a mountain, but it takes really great photos. The intent of a Tyrolean traverse is that you get to a crevasse or an opening that you cannot get around, and you climb down it, climb up the other side, and then you set up this rope and pulley everybody over. I've done a couple hundred of these in the mountains, all for pictures, and we just walk around to the other side of the crevasse and throw the rope over, and it's great. So the last one I wanted to talk about of the rules is that you cannot get scared. And as I said earlier, we all get afraid. Every mountain guide I know has been absolutely puckered at some point or another. You watch an ice fall come down 8,000 feet, you watch rock fall, you watch avalanches, you watch people fall, you watch storms lift people up off their feet and move them. It will have an impact on you. I've been in tents where in the middle of the night the winds are so strong that the air pressure between the outside and the inside of the tent makes the tent explode. And you wake up in 110 plus mile an hour winds. You definitely can get scared. You have to be able to manage those fears in the mountains. They can't overcome you. They can't control you. You have to be able to manage them. Primarily because as the mountain guide, fear in the group starts with you. It'll also stop with you. If you project the confidence that you know what's going on, and most of the time you do, that comes out through the group. If you're afraid, people will see that, and they will become afraid on your team. It's the same thing at Pensar. The attitude starts at the top of our company, and it gets improved along the way. But if I show up for work and I don't have the right attitude about it, I don't have my positive mental attitude hat on, that will propagate its way through my whole company. So in this picture, we're camped up on the Kahitna Glacier. That's Mount Foraker in the background up in Alaska. We're totally safe. We're a mile from anything. We picked this spot. Nothing could happen to us. And you see in the background an avalanche coming off Mount Foraker. It's a half mile away, and that cloud's probably 400 or 500 feet high. We're totally safe. It could never reach us. It's absolutely impossible by the physics of the world. It still makes you scared. You still hear it. You still got to go look. So in the mountains, I was always keen to listen to what made me afraid. And the things that would make me afraid, they vary. It depends on the climate, it depends on the weather. But if I listened to them, I knew exactly what I needed to go out and improve on. And every single time something made me afraid, I knew that's what I needed to go out and get better at. That's what I needed to go work on. Exact same thing happens to me in business. There's times where you get afraid, and you know then what you need to go out and work on. In the mountains, we can never eliminate risk. We can mitigate it, and that's the best we can hope for, but we can't eliminate it. So as the mountain guide, you're always looking around, you're always observing, and you're always trying to find out, what am I scared of most right now? And I'm going to go mitigate that fear first. As soon as I have that mitigated fear, I'm going to move on to what now scares me the most. And it's a never-ending process in that mitigating risk. Same thing in the business world. When I first started my company, my biggest fear was cash flow. And everybody knows, or most people know this, 90% of all businesses that fail are profitable at the time they fail, but they're cash flow negative. So cash flow definitely was my biggest fear early on. I could do the work, I could sell the work. But I started it out of my closet. How old was I? 26 years old? I didn't have a whole lot of money. I had a few $100. It wasn't a big backing there. It took me 5 or 6 years to mitigate that risk and to mitigate that fear. And I can tell you it's great. I haven't worried about cash flow issues in the last 10 or 11 years of the company. Because I looked at it, it was what made me afraid the most at the time, and I spent quite a bit of time and effort to mitigate it. and I continue to do that today. So this is, I think, somewhere down in South America. That's me sitting down. We're playing crevasse rescue games. I'm as carefree as you will ever find me. I feel safer here in this situation than I do in my own house. You can see that I'm lobbing snowballs over, trying to hit my client that's hanging down on the bottom of the crevasse. If you know what you're doing and you've practiced it and you've worked on it, you can eliminate a lot of the fears that you have. So this is what I did when I decided to leave mountain guiding and wasn't sure what I wanted to go do, but I knew that there were a lot of fundamental theoretical things from the mountain guide world that I absolutely loved, and I wanted to figure out what they were and how to take them with me. And it's been great in 15 years at Pensar. We have an awesome culture. We have an awesome team of folks. We get to go out and design products for world-class companies and have a lot of fun along the way. For all you folks that make Tri-Cities home, I just want to say thank you for making it such a great place to raise kids and for me to grow up. And thank you for the Chamber for the award.